Rosemary, are you ready?
Sherry, I'm ready.
What operation are we doing today?
Operation Love Light.
Can't wait. Let's let them
Shh.
in. Let them in. Here they come. Oh, good morning. Hello, beautiful
Hey,
secret
secret
agents.
agents.
We love you.
Hello. Welcome, welcome,
Hi.
welcome.
Mwah, mwah.
Thanks for putting your images up. It's good to see you.
Beautiful faces on a Friday morning. Thank
Oh
you
my
for
gosh.
being here.
Yay. So many
Yay.
fabulous secret agents. Great to see so many of you back. And a few people I think it might be your first time. So
I
welcome to everybody,
know.
everybody, everybody.
I see some new agents. And also, we do have you muted just for the first part of the call. Of course, our favorite part is later when we get to hear from all of you. So we will give you the chance to unmute and share some things. But I like it to be very quiet when Rosemary reads her poem.
Um, I want to also just really thank you all for showing up. It's so good to see your faces. This is exactly what I needed, I'm realizing. So yesterday I was talking to a friend in Ireland and he said that his friend had said to him, "What the world needs now is sweetness. We just need a lot more sweetness." And I thought, yeah, that's it. We just need some more sweetness. So this feels like the sweetness I've been needing, wanting, craving.
Rosemary, I agree so much. These are some of my favorite moments of my life is when we all come on and we get to do these missions together. And I think today we have a little special extra something that we don't normally do to start.
The special extra is this is how it goes down, friends. So I think a lot of you were with us on Monday when Sherry and I did a program together launching her new amazing book. In fact,
Ooh,
Sherry, why don't you go ahead even right now and put a link
oh,
to um, Love List of a Lifetime is Sherry's new book, and it's an end of life planner. And that was kind of what got us going and launched us into thinking about what is our next mission going to be. And so, in thinking about mortality, you're not going to be too surprised that that's part of what we're thinking about this time of year. It's autumn, it's Day of the Dead, and All Souls, and All Saints, and all of the things that, this time when historically we think of the veil being the most thin, with Samhain and all the other celebrations around the world. So, hence this timing on celebrating Sherry's book, Love List of a Lifetime, and really thinking about our own mortality, the mortality of others who we love. And that's kind of at the base of that's the root of the timing of today's mission. But last, you say why we're going to sing this song now.
Well, I love when Rosemary opens up her different events and workshops with song. It really grounds me, Rosemary. And this particular song you sang the other night at our workshop, and it was what we ended with as a way of a reminder that we're here. We're here, and we get to love each other. We get to love our lives. We get to love strangers. And I thought that'd be beautiful to start with.
Okay, so with that in mind, friends, the song, I just put it in the chat bar, is Today. And you may remember it being sung by John Denver, although I mostly remember it being sung by my mother. So I wonder if mom's here. And so I'm going to go ahead and sing the song. And even though you're muted, please go ahead and sing along in your own room if you know it, or just close your eyes and listen. It's a really beautiful lyric. I left out the middle verse about the dandy and the rover. It just didn't feel quite as appropriate to our mission. But not that I don't love that verse, it just didn't feel mission appropriate. So here we go. We'll start. Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows shall all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. I can't be contented with yesterday's glory. I can't live on promises, winter till spring. Today is my moment, and now is my story. I'll laugh and I'll cry and I'll sing. For today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows will all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. It was actually really sweet to see some of you singing along. That made me really happy. Just, I wish we could sing together in Zoom. And in that way, I suppose we can. Just lovely to think of us all singing together in our different homes.
I love that. And some people were posting in the chat about song and singing, and it's so good for the heart. I thank you so much, Rosemary, for doing that. Look at all the little hearts coming up for you. Thank you. What a treat.
Well, secret agents, I'm guessing that some of you have been with us quite a few times. Go ahead and raise your hand. Just shake your hands like this if you've been a secret agent with us before. Look at all those secret agents. And if this is your first time being a secret agent, go yay like this. And we're going to cheer for all of you being here too. Yay, first time secret agents. Shh. We have a lot of fun. So if you're an older secret agent, I mean, if you've been a secret agent for a longer time, then please do everything you can to welcome all the other secret agents. Just know that we're all in this together. And we always start by telling the story of how we became secret agents, the origin story. And Sherry, do you want to start it?
Sure. Because I love this. It's so fun. So, see, it feels like a long time ago. I don't even know how many years now. I was
Many.
I was doing some kind of abundance program, and I decided I was going to send letters to people who had impacted my life who wouldn't have known it. And I didn't have a ton of money, but I was including $5 bills and with a little note that said something to the effect of, may this be a small token of the abundance you've given me. And of course, Rosemerry was on my list. I'd been receiving her daily poems and I loved her TED Talk. And I just felt so like I'd gotten so much from her without ever having met her. And so I sent her off a note in the mail with a $5 bill.
Because that's just how Sherry is. That's how she is. And so I get this lovely letter in the mail with $5 and a little thing that I can open. It has a secret message for me and all kinds of fun things. And I was like, "What? Who is this Sherry Riker Blue who's sending such lovely things?" And so I wrote a poem about it. And in the poem, I think the poem's title was Secret Agents. And it was about the secret agents who go out and spread kindness. Just that's what they're doing is being good people in the world secretly without, expecting any glory back. And I posted it on Facebook with a picture of all the things that Sherry had sent me. Well, in the Facebook comments, people were saying, I want to be a secret agent. I want to do that. So Sherry,
So I had to muster all my courage, as you can imagine, because I just was a fangirl of Rosemerry. But I thought, oh my goodness, people want to be secret agents. Wouldn't that be fantastic if she and I could start a Secret Agents of Change program and do this together? And so I reached out to her and she said yes.
I
And
said,
here we are.
doesn't that sound fun? So we've been doing this for years. And what is it called? Inconsistent,
Yes.
consistent but inconsistent basis. There's no rhyme or reason to when we have the missions, but when we get together, it always looks like this. I read a poem that is somehow in keeping with our mission theme, and then Sherry, as the co-spy master, offers some ideas for what your mission might be, should you choose to accept it. And then after we come up, we're going to give some ideas about this. Then we're going to open it up to all of you to talk about how you think you might carry out this mission. But the one thing that all our missions have in common is this, that we are trying to do them secretly. And Sherry, you want to say a little bit about why it's important that we're surreptitious about these acts of kindness?
Yes, because we all know we all love all acts of kindness, right? Of course we do. And one of the things about when we are surreptitious, as Rosemary loves to say, is that one of the things that happens is, first of all, we as the givers don't have any expectation of anything in return, which I think is a really beautiful thing to experience. What is it to give truly, freely, and unconditionally? And the second part of this is that as a recipient of some anonymous kindness, what I've experienced when that's happened to me, and I've heard people tell me this, is that we start to look around and think that anybody could have given us this kindness. And I really think that what it does is it creates this sense of there's love all around us. And we just never know, who's going to send it or where it's going to come from. And so we do really invite you, of course, do all of your acts of kindness that you want, but for the missions, really challenge yourselves to see how can I make this anonymous?
So then after we go out, we're going to have our little, our special secret meeting today. You'll go out and you'll do your acts of kindness, and then we report back in our Facebook group. The thrill of the reporting back is this. It's like reading the best newspaper in the world, friends, because it's all the things that you want to know. You want to know that people are out there doing things. Every now and then we have people who are able to even take pictures of what's happened or what they're about to do or send out. And it just makes you feel great about humans. That's what happens. So even though we don't let anyone else know what we're doing, we let each other in. And the lovely part of that too is that when you see what someone else is doing, not only does it make you feel good about them, but it gives you ideas for things that you might be going out and doing also. So it just becomes this kind of gorgeous, energetic yumminess.
And let's just add that I know not everybody is on Facebook, and that's okay. If you still would like us to post your story, you can email me or Rosemary, and we make sure that we do that. And just an added note, I know some people feel like, oh, that feels a little like bragging, but in this case, what we're doing is we're inspiring. And I think when you think about it that way, because I know I've gotten so many amazing ideas from all of you, and then it's like it actually ripples out in that way. When you share your ideas, it sparks things for other people, and then maybe we go out and do another mission thanks to you. So I hope you'll consider it that way, and that you really will report back, because it also makes us so happy, doesn't it, Rosemary?
Absolutely. It's so much fun. We just love we love reading about them and celebrating you and just celebrating the power of kindness and compassion. So today's mission, Operation Love Light, like I said, it came out of another celebration, which was celebrating Sherry's new book, which is Love List of a Lifetime, an end of life planner. And we were thinking about, okay, this is the time when the the veil is thin, we're thinking about mortality, and how are we going to honor that somehow with our secret agents and put that kind of what generosity and well, the love light. Let's talk about how we came up with Operation Love Light in the first place, and it's going to tie us into the poem I'm about to read to you. So it's actually a difficult story. It begins not so easily. I think most of you know that about 4 years ago, just over 4 years ago, my son Finn chose to take his life just before his 17th birthday. And the day that he died, I was in Georgia walking. It was in August, and I was walking in the dark. And I was talking on the phone with my friend Wendy Vidalak, and she said to me, "He has given you his love light to carry." And the moment that she said it, a firefly lit up right in front of me like this. "He has given you his love light to carry." And I thought, oh my gosh, I said to Wendy, oh my gosh, I'll never forget this. And it was 5 minutes later when I said, Wendy, I forgot. What did you say? Which was the first time I think I laughed after he died. And it was just this kind of, it wasn't a big chuckle or anything, but it was this acknowledgement like, oh, that there's more possible here. She reminded me, he has given you his love light to carry. And look, Sherry gave me, by the way, I don't know if y'all can see it, she gave me this little firefly necklace that I've been wearing since Finn died, just to celebrate his love light. So I wore that today just as a special thank you, Sherry, for that reminder of the love light and how little a light can be, how little a kindness can be to make such a huge impact. It could be the words that you say or a small gift that you give. So that line, um, he has given you his love light to carry, it's at the heart of the poem that I'm about to share with you. I just put it in the chat bar. I'm going to read it from my book. I'm also going to put here that information that has Wendy's name, since she's the one who first said that beautiful phrase. So the poem is called For the Living, and if you want to just close your eyes and listen to the poem, let it wash over you. And then we'll hear from Sherry some ideas about how to make this poem go out into the world as part of our mission together. For the living. It is the work of the living to grieve the dead. It is our work to wake each day, to live into the world that is. It is our work to weep, and it is our work to be healed. Some part of us knows not only the absence of our beloveds, but also their presence, how they continue to teach us, how they invite us to grow. It is our work to be softened by loss, to be undone and destroyed and remade. Wounded, we recoil, and it is our work to notice how, like crushed and trampled grass, we spring back. It is our work to meet death again and again and again, and though it aches to be open, it is our work to be opened, to live into the opening, until we know ourselves as blossoms nourished from within by the radiance of the ones who are no longer physically here. They have given us their love light to carry. It is our work to be in service to that light.
Thank you, Rosemary.
Thank you, honey.
And I just want to say that I was never lucky enough to meet Finn in person. And his love light, ever since you told me about the fireflies, whenever I see a little glittering, sometimes it's a penny, a golden or shiny penny on the sidewalk, or a little twinkly light coming from somewhere, I feel his light. And that's a gift. I know you've given me and everyone who has heard about the beauty of Finn's light. So I'm glad he's here with us today.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks,
Yeah.
honey. Thank you. And I love that line that they have given us their love light to carry, and that's really that's the foundation of our mission today. Is how do we carry on the love light of the beloveds we have who are no longer physically present? Sherry, do you want to share our mission?
I do. I do. I do. Thank you. So, again, in her poem For the Living, which you just heard, Rosemary writes, they have given us their love light to carry. It is our work to be in service to that light. Thus, wonderful secret agents, this mission turns remembrance into action, a kindness that lets someone's love light keep shining. Yep, we are shining someone's legacy of love and light forward as a way to celebrate the one who has passed away and also to brighten the day of someone who's still here. So before I continue, if you feel comfortable closing your eyes, I just want us to take a quiet moment and reflect. Whose love light lives in you? Can you think of someone who has died, but whose presence, influence, joy, wisdom, or spirit still shines through your life? Just really let one person or several people drop in and really feel their light in this moment as we're all gathered here. And then you can open your eyes and I'll read the rest of the prompt. So, this is your mission if you choose to accept it, which we always hope you will. Think about and name to yourself one thing that made this beloved person shine, a quality, a gesture, a way of being. And now consider, how might you sneak a small act of anonymous kindness into the world, one that carries that specific light forward quietly and beautifully. And remember, the magic of this mission is anonymity. Let the love light point back to the person you're honoring and not you. And so I have some ideas, as we often do, to share with you. And then one of my favorite parts is when we open it up and we get to hear what your ideas are. So you can listen to the things I'm presenting and see what drops in that maybe is your own idea. So what I'm planning to do, I just recently had someone pass away in my life who was a beautiful singer-songwriter. And in fact, in her 70s, she created her first CD with her own music on it. And it was such a beautiful expression of love to the world, and also an expression of there's always time, as long as we're alive, to do these kinds of things. Now, unfortunately, she passed away with boxes of CDs that are left over. And so one of the things that I'm going to do, I've created a special in memory of tag that celebrates her and her songs. And I'm going to take these to little free libraries, to senior centers that might still have CD players, to nursing homes, or wherever I can think of, women's shelters, where people might have CD players and leave the CDs anonymously. That's the way that I want to honor her beautiful spirit. And I knew like that was such an important part of her life. Some other thoughts: perhaps your beloved was a gardener. So you might leave packets of seeds with a note that says, "These flowers grow in honor of someone who loved natural beauty." Maybe your person loved reading books. So you purchase from an indie bookstore and put them in little free libraries, or donate to teen centers or senior centers. Maybe your grandma loved baked goods from a specific bakery. Go to that bakery and donate some money that will treat the first 3 customers of the day. Or you could purchase baked goods to deliver anonymously to the local fire department or a women's shelter. If your person was a teacher or mentor, you could donate school supplies to a classroom, or tuck gift cards into library books with a tag that says, "In honor of someone who believed in the power of learning, teaching, and growing." If your beloved cared about the environment, you could do a quiet cleanup of a park or beach. If that person was an artist, you might create small art cards and leave them where strangers can find them. You could also donate or gift something that belonged to your person: a book, a mug, scarf, a recipe, with a tag that shares their story. And as always, like, one of the things that we love to link with any of these anonymous acts is Rosemary will be posting the poem in our Facebook group, and I'll also send it out. You could also leave the poem with whatever else you leave as a beautiful little added bit of love for people. And so whatever you do, whenever you do it, when you're done with your mission, I hope that you'll know that someone's day was brightened, and that love light that you carry from your beloved will now shine in a stranger too. That's your mission, should you choose to accept it.
I love those missions, Sherry. I love them all. By the way, friends, I put them all in the chat bar. So if you didn't catch them as Sherry was reading them, they're all there for you. They'll come to you in an email. They'll be present in our Facebook group. So lots of ways to reconnect with those if they went by too fast. Um, and so should we open it up now just for people to share their own ideas about ways that you think, how might you carry forth with Operation Love Light? How are you going to shine forth the love light of someone who's beloved to you?
There's a raise hand option at the bottom. It might be under your react button, or it might be all on its own, depending on what device you're on. That's the easiest way, but also you could just wave your hand and we'll see you. I
Well, we
hope.
might see you.
We might see you. Actually, yeah, I forgot there's two screens. So maybe best if you can use the raise hand. And while we're waiting to see what thoughts people might be bubbling up with people, Rosemary, I'm curious, did anything drop in for you as you were thinking about the mission?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot. I mean, so far, and maybe you can help me think of things. I was thinking about my dad, who was absolutely obsessed with fishing. And
Mm,
I was thinking, what could I do? I mean, one idea I had was to I maybe go to the local fish. We have an angler store, and I thought maybe I could go there and ask them if they had ideas for something that could happen. You know, like if I could, if there's, I don't know. I feel like I don't know enough about the fishing community to know like how to do it, but I feel like they're the guys who might know how I could help. So that's my first thought.
yeah, I love that. And also, I loved the poem. I think it was earlier this week, right? About, one of the things that dropped in for me, I mean, yes, I love going to the store and seeing, and you could do what I said with the bakery, right? You could donate, $20, and then the first person who comes to buy something, they're like surprised. But
Right.
also, you could print out your poem and, find some beautiful fish art. And, your poem in itself is such a tribute.
Maybe
I
I could get them to put it on a hook.
Oh, oh, it's a great idea.
Hey, we've got a lot of folks with their hands up, and we have my friend Peter Mortensen. Hi, Petey.
Peter. Peter, you should be able to unmute. There you are.
Hey, I don't know if you guys can see me. I look like I'm maybe a little dark.
We see you.
Yeah, okay. Well, I look best in the dark, so that's okay. I'm reminded of the beginning of the movie Aladdin, where I think it starts out, begins with a dark man set on a dark hill with a dark purpose. Yeah, so that's me today. Sorry guys. I was thinking it was funny that Rosemary mentioned her dad because I thought a little bit about her dad when you were talking about this. I thought about my dad and my mom who I've lost recently. So my dad loved tennis. He played tennis well into his 80s, and that's kind of what his passion was. I often joked with my friends that I went to college on a tennis scholarship. I played tennis with my dad in the summer, and he paid for college. So so I was thinking maybe I'll go down to the sporting goods store and buy a bunch of cans of tennis balls. They go bad. You can play with them once or twice and then they lose their balance. So I thought I might go buy a case of tennis balls and take it over to the local tennis park with a note. Hey, my dad loved to play tennis. Here's some free balls. Just my only requirement is that you enjoy every second while you're playing with them. Something like that. But that might do that with for my dad. As far as the fishing goes, I was thinking, especially up where you live, Roseberry, there might be lures or flies that you could have them set out. Maybe there's something, there's nets and hats and pins and
Yeah,
I don't know. So there's a
right.
bunch of ideas there.
And somebody else in the chat bar said maybe there's a fishing tournament I could pay for someone's entry. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. The special flies or lures, or if there's a way like to, Dad would, I think, be happy if there were kids involved. So I don't, yeah, I love that idea.
So Rosemary's dad had this amazing booming laugh that filled the world. That's another thing. I don't know if there was a way to boom that laugh out into people's lives, but that would be another great reflection of his life. Because when I think of your dad, I think of that laugh.
Oh
Um,
yeah, he had a giggle. Hee.
Oh. And Peter, I love, first of all, I love your tennis ball idea. It's so beautiful and it's so simple, but so wonderful. Can you imagine going to a tennis court and finding that? But I also love that you just exemplified carrying on the love light. Rosemary, what's your dad's name, please? I'm sorry.
Oh, well, he went by Chuck with his
Chuck.
friends. Yeah.
Yeah, that Peter is carrying on Chuck's love light, right? By sharing his laughter with all of us. And I just love that. I mean, I think that's just another way that we do that for each other. That was beautiful.
That was sweet. I loved having Dad's laugh come back in.
Could also be a little terrifying if you're a boy visiting the house. Just saying, he was a big, powerful man too. So that went along with the big, powerful laugh. Loved your dad.
And there's some great chat going on. I just saw Deborah. She said there's something called Heroes on the Water, a
I
group of,
saw that.
did you see that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really a great idea. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you for that.
So this is what we do for each other, you guys. I love that. And other people have posted too. Thank you. Yeah. And thank you so much, Peter.
And Banu.
Oh, Banu here. You should be able to unmute now. Does it like,
Okay,
there you are.
got it. Wonderful. Thank you. So, Rosemary, I just want to thank you for all the light you've spread with your poetry. I use it all the time when I teach online, and it touches so deeply. And I think that I have sort of a conundrum because my mom is 103 and a half, and her gift to me has been curiosity. And even though she's still alive, I thought she was going to go in 2013. And I've been doing long distance care and visits for all those years. And she's always just curious. And so when I interact with people, I like to just invite them to be curious of like, "Oh, look at that. Oh, do you see that? And what a beautiful color here. Or, oh, did you see the clouds today?" And I feel like that is a way that, even though my mom is still living, that I honor her presence, through inspiring people to pay attention and be curious. So
Right. So how to turn that into a mission?
I
I mean,
have
I
an
feel like I do it with my actions by verbally inviting people. Um, I mean, I could certainly put notes like on my walks under a rock or a stick and say, "Did you notice the sky today? Enjoy your day."
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome. I love that. That's
I do
beautiful.
too. That's what I was thinking. And I was picturing even, arrows, that you put, like I was imagining if I walked somewhere and I saw an arrow pointing to a beautiful flower, like, that would be so, I love your idea. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah,
Bringing
yeah,
her curiosity to us.
yeah.
Really lovely. And
Really lovely.
what a legacy. What a beautiful,
I
beautiful
know.
legacy. I
Yeah,
can't think of anything, right? Like it's like to leave us with that. Thank you.
yeah. Thank you.
And Kathy Jackson. Hey, friend.
You should be able to unmute, Kathy. Will it let you? There you are.
Hey, um, y- first, I have so much gratitude for both Rosemary and Sherry in doing this because there's no better gift than to give something, whether it's just a simple smile or a note or, you know, just it gives your heart so much joy. So you both share so much joy with the world and give us that joy of thinking. But I knew immediately when you said what our mission was this time, because my parents both died in their 70s, but they were such givers. And my mother was a nursing instructor, and she ran for many, many, many years on her own a health clinic for the homeless in her community. And it was a little place under a bridge, and my dad would help her. And it would just be open a couple days, for a few hours and a week. And the people who were unsheltered knew where to find her, and she had access to the knowledge and would have other doctors that would donate time to time and come in. And but what in honor of them, and they were always helping people who were disenfranchised or marginalized. And I'm gonna get some gift cards from grocery stores, and with them I want to make a little note too with some poetry and some uplifting verses to say you matter too. And so give them the gift of, something they can go purchase for themselves, whether they want to purchase a holiday gift for someone they love, or if they just need groceries, but also the gift of like your poetry, and Sherry, from you, just the upliftment of saying, you may not know who this is from, but you matter in the world, and I'm thinking of you. So that's going to be mine. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Oh, I love that mission. I love how that links to your mom and what beautiful work she was doing. Thank you. Thank you for that, Kathy.
Yeah. Thank you, Kathy. That's beautiful.
And Ruru.
You- Well, yeah, mute. Here, try again. It should do it.
While Rue is unmuting, I just want to show you something beautiful that Kathy made for me to celebrate Finney's love light. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a beautiful bird, and it says on the back, "May I be open to the unknown like a bird flying free." And it's a little rattle, a little ceramic rattle.
Oh,
I keep it right beside my bed. Thank you.
Ruth, you should have a little message. It's not letting you. Oh, Ruth.
We'll go to someone else and
Yeah,
you
nice.
work on getting unmuted, and we'll go to Aida. Hi, friend.
Hey, oops.
There
So
you are.
can you hear me?
Yeah,
I,
Ruth will have you go after. Thank you.
okay, so I had a mentor that I worked with for many years, and we'd sit on the floor in the circle, and we would go. It was a lot of deep stuff and funny stuff, but at the end of it, she passed away. Oh gosh, now 10 years ago, or maybe it's even 14. Anyway, she was very exuberant and a wonderful storyteller, and I can't do this with us, but she would go at the end, and she would go whatever was being said, good night, and kisses, kisses, kisses. You can't be sad, mad, and grumpy with kisses. And people had various reactions to that, but it just it adds a giggle where I never had one, and so I thought I would go out and get a bunch of Hershey's Kisses and stick them in a bowl and take them to the church coffee hour on Sunday. That's when that's what I thought I would do.
That's a gorgeous idea, Aida. I also wonder about quoting her, like if there's a way to have a little quote by the bowl of Hershey's Kisses and just say, kisses, kisses, you can't be sad with kisses, or whatever the quote
Sad,
was.
mad, and
And
grumpy with kisses. Oh, that's a really good idea. Otherwise, it has no context. Okay, thank you.
that's so sweet. I love that idea.
I do too. Thank you so much. Ruth, we see you got unmuted.
Okay,
Yay.
yeah, I don't know. Well, thank you for this opportunity. My sister passed away suddenly. I was just like 5.5 years ago, although it feels like yesterday. And she was really, really pretty. When she smiled, her smile was contagious. And I was thinking she also really loved not Jack in the Box, the pancake house, what's it called? Whatever.
IHOP?
Yes. So they still have some here. And I was thinking of, first the thought was she loved to bake. She made the best salt butter cookies, but I never could get the recipe right, so that wouldn't work. But I thought I would, if with your permission, share your poem and put her photograph on it, and her date, and say something like, "This was my favorite place to eat. Now you enjoy," or something like that. So,
Oh,
or
what a
even,
great
but I
idea.
was thinking even better with the times we're in, maybe do that, the same idea at a grocery store and leave it with the cashiers, and if they saw someone who might need a little extra cash to do that.
Mhm.
We'll see.
I love both of those ideas, both of them. And of course, you can use the poem. Of course, you can. Always and forever,
Well,
Lord.
I share your poems with everyone.
Always and forever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Beautiful.
thank
And the idea of putting her picture on it too, just so people could see her smile. What a beautiful idea that is.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Ruth.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Let's see if I can unmute.
Catherine, you should be able to unmute. Will it let you? Yay!
Oh,
There you are.
I've disappeared.
We see you.
We see you. We hear you. You are not,
Okay,
yeah, you are
good.
here fully.
Okay. My mum, who died about 17 or 18 years ago at the age of 86, she really inspired me to learn, because when I was doing exams in school, I was told that I wouldn't be able to pass them, that I should not attempt, and she really encouraged me to study. But part of my resistance was learning poems. And now the curious thing is I absolutely love poetry. And since I started teaching, I teach a lot of poetry. But anyway, she never went to university herself, but she started to study at the age of 72, women's studies, and then she went on to do a master's. And at the age of 86, she was just finishing her master's, and she was going to go on to do a PhD. So I thought, she really inspired me to stay in education, and I since did a master's. But yes, she sort of gave me encouragement to really engage with poetry, which I had had such an aversion to, and now it's so much part of my life. But I thought to maybe put a little story about her, very, very brief, in learning centres, to really encourage people that it's always possible to sort of change attitude, change perception to inabilities, and to see that really everyone can have an opportunity if the right encouragement is there. So I thought to make up some little small thing and put it in learning centres where people are maybe a little bit challenged, a little bit fearful, and hopefully that might guide somebody towards doing something that was, yeah, helpful educationally.
What a sweet idea. And what if you put a poem with it that's a pretty easy
Yeah.
one to access, like a poem that people could be like, oh, I get that.
Yeah.
That would go with it maybe. Or one that maybe you remember, that you were like, maybe the first poem that you remember connecting to and being like, oh yeah, I like this.
I
Anyway,
love
thank you,
that.
Mother.
Thank you. And just a quick commercial. So if you don't know how to raise your hand, there is a react button at the bottom, usually at the bottom of your device. And if you click on that, you should see the raise hand. Loretta, I saw your note, and after Stella, we'll make sure we call on you. All right, who do we have next here?
Sadika.
Sadika, it should let you unmute. Do you see little? This is the hardest part of our missions, everyone. Unmuting. There you are.
Except somehow we still don't hear you, sweetheart.
Huh.
That's interesting.
I know.
My guess is that has to do with where it's going to be complicated, but if you can go into the audio and choose where your speaker and your microphone are, my guess is that it's not hooked up somehow to your computer.
And in the meantime, Sadika, we're gonna have Stella go, and then we'll come back to you, and then Loretta after that. Hey, Stella.
Hey, good morning. I'm always surprised when I listen to one of Rosemary's poems, which I do each morning using ritual, what it brings up in me. And when you started reading it, I didn't even have to think hard about who that special person, that special energy was. And it wasn't a parent, but it was a woman in my life who was a high school teacher, and she was in my life since age 15. And she's gone 10 years now. But one of the things that I do every year is I do the Walk for Hunger with the Capuchins here in Milwaukee. And I always put on my page that I do it in Maureen's memory. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to do that again. So I know I'm doing that 'cause she had such a deep love for our brothers and sisters who are homeless. My last time being with her was at Trinity Cafe in Tampa when I went down to visit with her before she died. And I mean, she was doing this till she was like 80 something years old. And I thought, what else could I do? What else could I do? And Rosemary, if you remember when Finn left us, I did this thing along the wall outside my window there, and there's a house being built there now, so I don't have that little wall. But I walk along the path to the lake, and I was walking yesterday and I saw all these dead branches with no leaves and all this. And you know what I think I'm going to do? Because Maureen always, in her Rhode Island accent, would call me her sta. And being Stella, I was her sta. And so I said, Maureen, if you're going to call me your sta, you're going to be my moonbeam. And so that's how we related to one another till her death. This is your moonbeam calling, just to let you know how I am today. I'm going to go to the Dollar Tree, which is my favorite place to do silly things. And I'm going to buy a bunch of those little sparkly stars. And on the back, I'm going to put a message. And that message is going to say, remember, you are made of stardust. Let your soul shine today. And I'm going to clip them along all the branches along my 2-mile walk and see how long they last. And I should put something on there like, take this as your reminder. Take this with you as your reminder. So it's back to the Dollar Tree, which is now the $1.25 tree for me. And that's what I will do in Maureen's memory. I cannot look at a moon without talking to her. You know, I could be lying in bed, look out the window, and I see the moon. I go, hi, Maureen.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, so thanks a lot, Rosemary, for making me cry as soon as you opened your mouth today. But, you know, Maureen is always in my heart.
I love this mission for Maureen the Moonbeam. Thank you.
It's so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Stella. Loretta.
Okay. Hi, thank you, ladies. I haven't made the last few for multiple reasons. There was definitely a reason I was here today. And, you know, Sherry will know that I lost one of my dearest, dearest friends last Friday. And, you know, I'm just going to repeat, I send a lot of cards, and you think that it's not so important. But after she passed, her daughter posted something, a picture, and I said, I think that's a card that I sent your mom. And I always would, you know, Bev would, oh, my girlfriend Bev would always tell me how important my cards were. But her daughter answered and said, they're posted all around my mother's room. And my mother asked me to take these down and have them buried with her. And if that didn't touch my heart, because the last 2 weeks that I knew she was here with us, I was frozen. I couldn't send a card. I couldn't do that. I got to say goodbye to her on Facebook, on you know, FaceTime, which was, she lives about 8 hours from me. But that, and when you, one of the first things you mentioned was a gardener. And of course, that's who Bev was. That was her life. And the other part is I lost my dearest friend of 65 years, and I lost my cousin, who's my very first friend. And the past 2 Thanksgivings, I've done letters from this. I always send out a lot of cards, letters, but I do specific Thanksgiving ones from the Secret Agents of Change and have done that. So now, and with the three of them in mind, I can't take one. I am going to put the face on the letter, the poem. So thank you for giving us permission to do that. And, I won't speak anymore, except this is so important, ladies, what you do. And so I thank you.
Oh, Loretta, you will know that I was thinking of Bev because I am also going to do the flower packets in her honor.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Yeah. So,
yeah. Oh, thank
okay.
you so much, Loretta. And it's a lot of loss. It's a lot of loss.
Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you, dear.
Okay.
And thank you for sharing the story about the cards and just what they meant to her, just so that we remember, like all of us remember, just what these small acts mean so much to people. They mean so much. Thank you, Loretta, for bringing
And just
that
to
up.
add to that, we have done in the past that sometimes if you don't live in a big city and you send a card anonymously, I will often send cards without a return address, but I live in San Francisco and so it's a big city. But sometimes we've also done things where people have posted in the Facebook group and said, I want to send an anonymous card. Can I send it to somebody and you mail it? And so we have done that for each other. If there's someone that particularly, someone there's a way you want to shine that love light on a particular person and you want to do it anonymously, post in the group and we can help you out.
Yeah, I've done that for folks, lots of folks. Thanks everybody who does that for each other.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Luella's note in the chat bar. Luella says, I'm looking for ideas how to honor my grandfather who was a volunteer fire chief. I thought of smoke detectors, but that doesn't appeal. Then my perverse mind went to lighting candles, but that seems like going in the wrong direction. LOL. Any sparks out there for me? Who has some ideas? Anyone? Oh, Peter says putting out some of those fire putting out blankets. That's a good idea. I was thinking to maybe, speaking of my dad, he was saved. His life was saved by a fireman, and he would go to the fire station and bring them smoked salmon. And I know how much the firemen loved that. So how could you maybe take something to the fire station specifically for the firefighters? Just for them when they have their meetings or just to honor them. And I'm guessing that you could ask one firefighter, what do the guys and gals like to eat here?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then have a secret in with what might be a hit with that particular fire station. That's one idea. Anybody
Love
have
that.
other ideas?
You can also send, again, this is easy to do anonymously, right? To send an envelope. We often, we'll talk about gift cards of, there's thousands of different kinds of gift cards. That's an idea too. You could send a gift card anonymously.
Oh, firehouse chili, that would be fun. That works. And all firefighters love fire, says Poke. Thank you for that. Someone's wondering, how do you pass on a love of laughter? Ooh.
Well, one
Any
thought that just dropped in when I saw that, again, you guys hear me say this all the time. I'm a huge Little Free Library fan. It's one of my favorite things in the world. And I feel like there's so many ways to use Little Free Libraries. And, maybe if you have a favorite humorous book or a book of jokes that you love or something that you could pass along that way. And it's always nice. I mean, we've all talked about this, but to give it that extra personal touch of a note, this is in honor of so and so who made me laugh every day, just as a way of connecting it to that love light. What other ideas do people have about that laughter?
That is a tough one. I love your idea, Sherry.
I mean, of course there's I'm thinking comedy or improv. Maybe there would be a way um to gift an improv class somehow to a student or somehow I'm not maybe like a teen center. You could donate a couple free classes for an improv or a show.
Well, that's
And
a fun idea.
you
Have an
know,
improv, yeah, have a comedian come in and then teach a class on how to do stand up or
yeah, I love the idea of doing things with teen centers or senior centers.
oh, I love the idea of hiring or finding a massage therapist who could volunteer an hour to do shoulder massages. I'm guessing that that's going back to the fire department. That's a really great
That
idea.
is a great idea. Oh, that's so great. Oh, that's great. We have about 5 minutes left. I want to make sure, is there anybody who wanted to share a thought or an idea, or even if you have a conundrum, again, the raise hand icon is down below.
Oh, this is a beautiful idea from Siddiqa. She bought 200 postcards with a beautiful drawing of the Statue of Liberty and sent them to Congress members, calling them to be their best selves.
Oh,
Saying things like, I know you're a good person because, and then talking about what I'm asking, hungry children, etc., and then end by asking them to help. Even if the senator doesn't get it, everyone who sees it might be inspired. My mom used to send cards to people who are going through hard times. That's a really nice idea.
Nadika, are we able to hear you? I see you unmuted and I see your envelope. I can't see your face anymore, but can we hear you? No.
Okay, here,
I'm
Liz, Liz Lance has this awesome idea for laughter is to start a viral laughter incident on public transportation.
Oh,
They say laughter is contagious, so just start laughing really loud and wait for everybody else to start too. Thanks, Liz.
fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, and there's also laughter yoga. Maybe you could donate laughter yoga somewhere. Peter,
Uh,
did you want to add something?
Why, sorry to interject, but I was just thinking of a story that it doesn't have anything to do with laughter or anything. So, but as long as we're sitting here chatting, um, so you guys have reminded me. There's an old hymn called "Let the Lower Lights Be Shining." I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it was written by an old pastor or somebody in Cleveland, Ohio. There's a story about a boat, and evidently the harbor there at Cleveland was really treacherous to reach, and they had a big lighthouse. And in the dark, what the mariners would do is they would line up the lighthouse with the lights on the houses along the shore, and then they knew exactly where they could enter. And if they didn't get that just right, they would crash. And there was a tragic um, shipwreck where a bunch of people had died. And so he wrote this song about let the lower lights keep shining. Um, and it says, brightly beams our Father's mercy from the lighthouse evermore, but to us he leaves the keeping of the lights along the shore. Anyway, thank you for everybody here being lower lights to help guide everybody. Yeah, I love that story. I've never been to Cleveland, Ohio. I didn't even know it was on a lake until I heard that story.
what a beautiful idea that we're the lower lights.
I
It's a beautiful
know.
metaphor.
Thank you, Peter. Thank
Yeah.
you. Well, and Rosemary, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I guess I'm doing just that.
Go for it, honey.
Is there something you could sing us out with? It's always so hard I have to say this, like, I'm just getting teary. It's always so hard to say goodbye to our beautiful secret agents. And maybe a song.
We could just do the same one.
Okay. I
Why
would love
not?
that. Why
Why
not?
not? I don't have the lyrics anymore, but if you scroll all the way to the top, friend, let's see if I can find them. I bet I can find them right here and copy them. Here, I got it. And I'll copy them and then I'll put them in the chat bar again so you can sing along. Let's see if that worked. Oh, well, no, that didn't work. One more chance to try that.
I
Let's
love
see.
that giggle. I'm thinking of your dad. I mean, I know
Oh,
I didn't know your dad's laugh, but now whenever I hear you laugh, I'm thinking of Chuck.
I tell you what, his giggle, I definitely have dad's giggle, especially when this little hee, and he would run. He was a huge man, and he would get going so hard that he'd just have tears streaming down his face, and he'd put both his hands up. He had just these really thick hands, and he'd just rub his eyes like that. Like that.
Oh,
All right, here we go. Here's our song, friends, and then we'll we'll go off and do our great work. Today, I'm going to start lower. Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows shall all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. I can't be contented with yesterday's glory. I can't live on promises, winter till spring. Today is my moment, and now is my story. I'll laugh and I'll cry and I'll sing. Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows will all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. Thank you, secret agents. Thanks for singing along. Thanks for playing along. Thanks for carrying on the Love Light mission. We can't wait to see you in Facebook. It'll be a little over an hour before I get it all posted in Facebook, but it'll all be there soon. Can't wait to hear what you do. If you're not on Facebook, you can write to me and Sherry to report back, and we'll post it into Facebook for you.
And if you could take photos, we extra love photos too. It makes it extra fun. Thank you for being here. I just want to remind you all, your presence really matters. You matter. Seeing all of you today, I know it's just been such a gift. Mwah. We love you.
We love you, secret agents.
Yay. Carry on the love light. Mwah. Thank you, Rosemerry. You're the
Thanks,
best.
sweet Sherry. You're the best co-spy master.
Love y'all. Bye, everyone.